wash the windows a bit.
Yes. Okay, we are driving east down Taylor Street. That's Lathy Pool on the left, north side, and here's Aidan Bowman Collegiate, built in 1958. It was the first collegiate on the east side of the river after Newtown Collegiate was built way back in 1909. Here's the Clarence Intersection with the Churchill Shopping Centre. We have No Frills, Family Pizza, Subway, Circle K. That used to be Mac's, and before that it was 7-Eleven back in the 80s. We have a lot of 30 kilometers per hour zones along Taylor Street because there's one school after another, like this one, St. Philip Catholic School. Here's the interesting church with the cool roof. We're driving on a Sunday afternoon here. This is during the virus epidemic, so there's not a lot of traffic in general. This whole area, all these houses would have been built in the late 50s or early 60s. Now we're at the Cumberland Intersection. Throw in any stories if you know anything. That's the Cannon Smith Park on the right, on the south side. We're coming up to Louise Avenue, and if you follow it to the left heading north, you'll hit the McDonald's, which has been there since 1971 on 8th Street. And what school is that on, Louise?
Holliston.
Holliston School. It's also up Louise. So this would all be early to mid 1960s houses. This area developed really quickly, which is why within only a mile of Aidan Bowman Collegiate, all of a sudden we got another one. And they built Walter Murray High School here on the southeast corner of Preston and Taylor.
You can tell the age by the graphics in the front.
Market Mall, built in the 60s, is just further down here to the south. All right, we are turning north onto Preston Avenue, going towards 8th Street. Again, these houses should all be 1960s. This area developed. There's not too many upgrades on this street, actually. Many of the older neighborhoods, half the houses have been torn down and replaced with new duplexes or townhouses, but this street seems to be untouched. Coming up on the left on the northwest corner of 8th Street and Preston Avenue is the Grosvenor Park Shopping Centre. Here's Dodge City. In the Grosvenor Shop Centre, we've got Shoppers Drug Mart in the front there. Grainfields is still there. The main restaurant's been there for decades. We've got Affinity Credit Union here, Mr. Lube, we've got Goodyear, we've got Staples and London Drugs and Winners and Tim Hortons. We're still heading north on Preston Avenue.
Traffic.
The Wholesale Club. It's 7 degrees here. It's really warmed up in just the last couple of days, so snow is melting like crazy. So we might actually lose all our snow this week everywhere. Of course, it could snow again because it's only March. The Redeemer Church. The Girl Guide House.
Traffic is very late.
Coming up to 14th Street here. This is all university farmland here on the right, and the left is getting developed more and more. We've got the field house for sports, and we have a newer building which is just built to the south of it, which I have not even been inside yet. The Merlis Belcher Place. And now we're coming up to College Drive. College Drive was, what did I say it was called? College Street?
No traffic.
Very little traffic here. Looking east on College Drive, you can see Circle Drive overpass over there. They expanded the width of College Drive back in late 50s, early 60s. There's Sutherland, which used to be a separate town from Saskatoon, but became part of Saskatoon in 1956. And then they renamed all the streets to save the confusion, because Sutherland had its own 8th Street, for example, which was close to our 8th Street, so they renumbered them all. Yes, into the 100s. So this is the university grounds to the left, looking west. The university has expanded continually with new buildings every decade. And here's how you get into 108th Street now, into Sutherland. They only put this in the last 15 years, which is quite handy. The old barn at the university grounds. Road, which heads into a newer section of the university grounds to the left. And Innovation Place and Innovation Boulevard. There's Sutherland, it's so close now. Research Drive to the left. Got some ducks over there. We're coming up to Preston Crossing, which is a big new shopping center area which has been developed in the last 20 years. 25?
5 years.
No, 20. And so in here you've got a lot of the big box stores. This was the first big box store area of Saskatoon, in fact. Now we've got Bed Bath & Beyond, Starbucks, Tommy Guns. Some of the originals that opened up in here. We got Michael's Clothing. We've got Canadian Tire and the Co-op, Sobeys Groceries. So now we're sort of curved towards the east. This takes you directly into Sutherland. So we've got one of our 3 Walmarts is over here just to the north side of the street. Olive Garden, Rona Home and Garden, Burger King. This section is very busy. One of the busiest streets in the city always, as it's your only good way into Sutherland. Unless you take College Drive.
And Olive Garden is on hold, waiting for their grand opening.
Behind us. Waiting for the light. Gas has dropped from 99 cents to 63 this week due to the coronavirus. Not all stores are closed, but a good chunk of them are. People are not buying gas, they're not going shopping. All the casinos in Saskatchewan have been shut down. So there's Circle Drive heading south. We're taking the overpass here. We're not. Okay, we're going to take a new route. So if you haven't been in Saskatoon for years, we're going to take you a route you've literally never seen before. So now we're in our 3-lane traffic heading into Sutherland here. Penitentiary is over there to the north side. We have these noise silencing walls all over the city. Dutch Growers Greenhouse. So if you turn either direction here, this is Central Avenue. So that takes you back into the old part of Sutherland if you head back south. If you drive directly this way, you land up in the forestry farm and a whole bunch of new areas in the northeast corner of Sutherland.
No traffic.
Another long light.
Yes, especially with no cars.
Sutherland was founded as a railway town back around 1909 area. We're going to show you a lot of really cool stuff. You just got to keep watching. Now we're turning left. We are heading straight north. And this is the furthest northern part of the east side of the river. Circle Drive Bridge is back over there. The Beef Research Road is here. This area is also developed all in the last 20 years. It's just grown crazy big. Silver Spring. This building, they had a nice building there, and then they tore it down, and they're building another church, so it wasn't that old. Garvey Road to the right here, which is heading east. Lots of townhouses in here. Here is the Regional Psychiatric Center.
And this is where the first known case in Saskatoon was.
The first known case of the virus happened there.
From someone who just returned from a trip to Egypt and came back to work. And each one of the prisoners was tested for the virus. Everyone was negative.
Summers Road to the right. See, there's still a lot of land here that's not developed, but there's thousands of new houses in here in the last 5 years. Here's Sylvia Fedoric Drive to the right. This is sort of the edge of the residential areas now. But we're going to drive further north. Northeast Swale.
River is here. Sound here.
And the police have their lights on. For some reason with their lights on. New construction happening. The road is starting to curve a bit to the east. Lots of police here. And a cameraman. Something's happened. Lots of police cars here.
That's a lot of police.
Family out riding their bike. It's 7 degrees here today. So, there's no more residential area here, but we're still in the city, heading north. These are all new roads built in the last 3 years, maybe. You'll soon see where this takes us and why they built this. Back there you can see to the, looking southeast, the edge of the residential area. Cumberland Drive, which lines up all the way back into Sutherland. dead end here, so we have to turn onto McCormick Drive. We're going to head west to the left. There's looking west. The city has done a good job of trying to connect the west and the east side of the river up in the far north end. And here's how they did it. So we're heading back west towards the river. Makes you realize how big the west side of the city really is, because on the east side it feels like we've been driving. North and south grid roads here. Looking to the north, dead end.
Lots of walkers and bikers. And it's a long walk.
It's quite the hills over there.
Reason we're here. We're on Chief Mistawasis Bridge.
This is our newest bridge. You can see the view over the river. Hold for a moment there. And so we're crossing the river back onto the west side, but we're now way into the north end of the city.
We went straight into the Costco.
Right, if you keep going for another mile straight, you run over to Idlewild. And we have a Costco and we have Saskatchewan Place Arena. You can see the train over there that runs down to the city. We're turning north. We are heading towards Warman, which is a town just north of Saskatoon.
It is now a city.
Russell Metals here on the west side. Here is 71st Street. And we got railway lights here as well. Erco Worldwide. You can see the train coming into the city, heading south. 72nd Street. So now we are on the west side of the city, way in the north end. All industrial. And this area not even fully developed yet. This is now a shortcut people take to get to the highway, especially if they're heading to Prince Albert. Now for for the first time, you can get to Prince Albert from the east side of the city and not have to go downtown at all. Montesquieu and Heritage Park. What do they have there?
The first early history of natives and where the buffalo jump was.
Bluffs Estates. Corbin Industrial Park. Railroad tracks. And this is how you get immediately onto the highway heading to Warman and Rostern, Duck Lake, Prince Albert.